the essence and the extension of all of that is, Creator, God, Source, is brought earthside into the 3D human body by portaling through a womb. Coming through in this way with full recollection of who you are, but being in a body that's about 6 to 8 pounds and about 20 inches long is tough. The process of birth literally exemplifies that squeezing. The essence, the seed of God, the essence of our soul is squeezed into the tiniest of human bodies. Have you ever wondered why the human body is the most defenseless of all mammals? Think about it. Most others come out ready to swim or walk or run within hours or days, or they won't be able to survive and they will die. But we humans, we are different. We are spirit and set up knowing. We have a knowing that we are connected to Source, that we are connected to God. And so in order for this to work in the earth, we must be made like a baby who must learn to communicate, to ask for every need it encounters. Hunger, being tired, in need of comfort, having soiled clothing. At the beginning, it cannot even hold up its head, cannot sit on its own, cannot move independently, learns to crawl and scoot, learns to walk and run, first with the assistance of others and then alone. But all of that focus has been on how to manage the density of the human body, when before, movement and presence only required a thought. This veil of not knowing, when previously we have known everything and we understand who we are and we know we are connected to Source, happens in the womb where literally everything is muffled. There is an introduction to sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell, but it is not experienced in its fullness until it is squeezed through the portal of the womb. The womb is a transition space where we become accustomed to the body in a small space. And as we grow in utero, we begin to feel more of the confinement that ensures that we will not get comfortable there and never desire to leave. So then birth of this spirit, birth of this soul is guaranteed to happen. And then the squeezing that we call contractions that says it's time, begins to happen. And all of the sights and sounds and smells and touch that have been muffled through the process of birth, through the squeezing of birth, comes forth and becomes very tangible. What felt muffled and slight before the touch of a hand, the sounds become glaringly loud. What an introduction to earth. What an introduction to life here in this plane. I've often taught our job when we want to know what is it that my baby needs. Our job is to ease that transition. To ease that transition. And I often say, what is it that the baby is accustomed to that you can provide? The thing that newborn has known was very muffled, very, just very slight things around the five senses. The five senses being a human are the way we experience the world. And so far, the way the baby has experienced the world has been very slight. Never had to ask for food. Never had to ask for anything. But now, on this side, after portaling through all of that godness that has been a seed pushed forth, now all of that confined to this little body has to learn how to communicate what is needed. What is needed? Am I soiled? What is needed? Am I hungry? Do I need to be touched? And so, when wondering, what does this new baby need? Encourage families to focus on those 5 senses. This is such a new transition for baby. This is such a new transition to use these human attributes that make us human, that tell us we are alive. This is the first time they're using them. So pay attention and be ready to respond. Be ready to respond when baby shows, there's something that I want in my mouth. Let baby eat. Respond. Notice how the baby responds when you are touching them or holding them. That touch is so different than what they were accustomed to in the womb. What did they hear? I often say the heartbeat is the soundtrack of that baby's life. Since they got in the womb, they heard the heartbeat. How can we allow those sounds to comfort, to let them know you are earthside now, but here are some things that you might be accustomed to aid in your transition. The taste. Baby knows. Did you know that the amniotic fluid for baby is very similar taste to the mother's breast milk? To them, it's a reminder. They are looking for it. They will look for that. What they're hearing, what they're tasting, their touch, their smell, it's in line with the taste, right? How can we help this transition? And the sight, those new eyes. I've never seen light like that before through all those layers of the uterus and the mother's body. How can you make that most comfortable for the new baby? The birth of a new soul, the embodiment of spirit.